Okay, so you want to double check where you want to mount the controller. We're going to be mounting it in this location. So go ahead and open up the alcohol pad. Clean off the area. Clean it off really good. Make sure that there's no grime, there's no nothing on it. Once that is clean, let it dry. 5-10 seconds. Doesn't take very long. On the 3M primer, it's a one-time use. So you grab the applicator, bend it in half. You'll feel it crack. The liquid will then go to the applicator end. Go ahead and apply that everywhere, making sure that you get it in all the areas. Once you've applied that, go ahead and remove the red backer from the 3M tape. Mount it in the position that you've chosen before, pressing firmly, holding it for a good 10-15 seconds. This will ensure that you get really good adhesion. Once it's done, it's mounted, and it will be there permanently. After that, you can run the wires. This is the wire that will go to the front, to the battery. And these are the wires for the actuators, and this is your switch. So the next step is to run the wiring. You're going to fish the wiring through an existing hole, ideally. This vehicle has an existing hole here. You're going to run the wiring along in between the box and the cab, underneath, and then to the motor bay, right next to the battery. The wiring for the lift assembly, that will also be running along the inside of the box to the driver's side. The switch will be mounted in that corner, and then this one is for the passenger side lifting assembly. So you can go ahead, fish this through. And let it run all the way down at that end, and then tie everything with some zip ties. Keep everything nice and neat and out of the way. I fished the wire through the box. At this point, now I can pull on the wire, pulling up all the slack that's in the box. Pull it a little bit snug. Now I'm going to go underneath the truck, and I'm going to run the wire along the frame all the way to the front. So, with the supplied zip ties, you want to find an opening along the frame to run the wire. And again, just fish it through. Nothing has to be tight and secure yet, because you want to make sure you get all the way to the front. That would be good there. And again, just find a place to zip tie it together. So the frame has lots of holes in it. So find yourself a hole that you can wrap the zip tie and the wire around and secure it like that. So that's zip tied to the frame, holding it in place. So at this point, what we're going to be doing is we're going to finish the end of the wiring. We have a fuse, various tools. You need a crimper, because we supply 2 connections that need to be crimped on. In the manual, we talk about all the tools that are required. This is a fish line. But basically a steel wire makes it much easier to run through. I'm looking for a location that's open, so I can run it all the way over the wheel well, down. At that point, then I will attach the end of the wire to this and fish it back up. So once I'm comfortable and found a nice spot where it's free and clear of everything, and just leave the fish line in there, I'll attach it to the bottom and pull it through. Okay. It's recommended that you remove the fuse because you don't want to power up the system yet. So just remove the fuse, put it aside. At this time, pull the wire through. Once you got the wire through, remove it. So, red is positive, black is negative. You want the fuse to be on the red to red, on the positive side. So go ahead and crimp one side of the coupling. Crimp the fuse. On the negative side, we're going to crimp the eyelet. Just ensuring the wire is coming through at the end that you can see it. Go ahead and crimp it. So, on various models, positive will be generally under the red. The negative, you want the ground. You can ground it to the battery. There might possibly be a ground connection on the frame that you can go to. Generally, I like to go directly to the battery. Generally do the negative first is what you want to do. Tighten that down. Again, ensure the fuse is out. You don't want to power the system up yet. We will do that right at the end. Tighten that down. Sure everything's secure. Put the covering back. Just leave it like so for at this moment. Later on we'll come and we'll put the fuse back in. Close that up because it is a weather sealed fuse connector. At that point, this portion is done. You can move back to the inside of the box. because we're going to run this wire to the other side. We want to make it a clean, professional job. I want the wires to be tucked and out of the way as much as possible. So we're going to hide the wires here, run it like that. To wire in between the box and the cab. And we're going to go all the way around to the other side. All right, so remove the red backer on the clip again. Again, mounting the wires. They're clean and out of the way. Tucking everything in as much as possible. So once you've made it around the corner, just continue running the wire, tighten it as much as possible underneath the bed rail. And you're going to come out to about this point. Now stop here because the mounting bracket is going to be in this area. You don't want the wire to get pinched by the mounting bracket. From the inside of the bulkhead, which is the inside of the box, you're going to measure along the bed rail 20 inches. Place a little masking tape there, and your mounting bracket is going to come right up against that masking tape. Pick up your mounting bracket. It's going to be mounted just like that, right up against this. This is going to be removed after this is mounted in place. We're going to temporarily put some tape on the mounting bracket and the bed rail to hold this in place so it doesn't slide back and forth. And also we're going to basically make a hinge out of the masking tape so that we can rotate this out of the way, do some work back here, and rotate it back. Making sure it's up against the masking tape. Put a number of pieces on. It is a heavy bracket. You don't want it to fall. You can even put a piece across like this. So this allows you to hinge it. As you can see, I can hinge it all the way through. It doesn't lose its position. It stays in its position. It'll allow me to do a little bit of work on the back side. Then I can rotate it back in place and it stays there.